Please enjoy Force of Nature by Shelley A. Davis.
So when I was growing up here on the south side of Chicago, sometimes we'd have these huge weather events, right? Like sometimes the lake's level would rise really high, and then these big winds would come through and push the waves onto Lakeshore Drive and flood it. And they had to close Lakeshore Drive for a couple of days until the water receded. Remember that? Or we would have blizzards that closed Chicago public schools for days, sometimes many days, right? To the point that us public school kids would have to stay in school like till mid-June, where the private school kids got to go to the beach or go to camp or just play outside. Or sometimes on a really humid day, the sky would suddenly turn purple and the National Emergency Broadcast System alert would come on and interrupt television. And then my mother would make me go down to the basement and listen to a crackly transistor radio to see if a tornado had hit, to see if it was okay to stop sheltering in place. That was weather. That was forces of nature. At least that's what I thought. Then I started working. And I had a new boss. And it was my job to drive new boss around town. I was supposed to introduce new boss to our community partners so she could learn all about their mission and programs and how we could best be supportive of them. On this day, I was driving new boss to the west side to see a brand new early childhood education center. This place was beautiful. It was made of glass and steel. When you went inside, you could see the natural light trickling in. The leaders of the program talked about the value of early childhood education and how critical brain development was between the ages of 0 to 5. We were inspired. We were in awe. We got back into my car and new boss says, wow, women in Chicago are just a force of nature. I didn't really know what she meant. I had never heard that before. I couldn't tell if she was placing a compliment or lobbing a criticism. New boss was from Texas and she had a little twang in her voice, and so I didn't know if she meant like something like, well, bless her heart. God bless her soul. Whatever she meant, it landed with me like a combination of condescension and paternalism. It left me feeling icky. So lately, I've been in a lot of doctors' offices. I've met a lot of nurses. I've met a lot of nurses' assistants. I've met a lot of technicians. I've been in and out of the hospital. During one of my hospital stays, it's 2 a.m., I rang the nurse call button. And my nurse came in and she was beautiful. Black woman with perfectly appointed makeup. Her hair was freshly braided. She had a silk scarf that she used as a headband. She had a Chanel pink lanyard that was holding her keys and her work ID. She took care of me, and like all of the nurses, especially the nurses of color, I would always ask them, do you like your job? How did you get here? She told me that she had started her career working in a senior center, leading recreational activities, and she was told she was good at it. So she decided to come work at the hospital so she could be trained as a nurse. Then she went on to tell me that she had 5 children, an 18-year-old girl, a few in between, ending with a 10-year-old boy. She told me the 18-year-old was about to finish high school and that she was expecting her first child, my nurse's first grandchild. She said at first she was nervous and sad that her daughter was having a child so young. But then she remembered that she was her daughter's age when she had her daughter. And she was confident that her daughter and the grandbaby would be okay because they would be surrounded by a village of friends and family that would help her take care of the baby. She started staring out the window, and even though it was pitch black, all the twinkling lights in the city were just gleaming. She turned to me and said, "Thank you." And I said, "Thank you back. Like, thank you for sharing your story with me." She left, and I wondered, maybe she, my nurse, is the force of nature. Like, why do we only think about forces of nature for women that can build buildings and provide services that every family deserves anyway? Like, what about the women that get dressed up to work in the middle of the night where less people see them? That's such low expectations about anybody being curious about them. And there must be other kinds of forces of nature, right? Like many, many kinds of forces of nature in between women that build buildings and women that take care of people. What we do know about Chicago women is that we have the vision, the stubbornness, the tenacity, the fierceness to change the weather. Thank you.
Nice job, man.